All right, Taurus. Woo. Right, and you know what? Let me just show you your underlying energy. I don't read your underlying energies for this spread, but that's your card right there, Taurus. Okay, Empress, abundance, building and growing and manifesting and creating abundance with your partner. So it's also a domestic situation as well. So I feel like in the past year, you guys were dealing with some stress, a little bit sleepless nights, right? A little bit sleepless nights, and I feel like it's potentially because you guys were working so hard, though. This talks about stress, fears, worries, things of, doubts, anxiety. When this card comes up, I do get this feeling that there may have been some worries, potentially some worries, about a certain situation. But when the Nine of Swords comes up, they're usually worries that may be blown a bit out of proportion, right? And it's not our fault, right, when this happens. It's really when we start to think and we start to really believe our thoughts. That's when it gets very dangerous, because sometimes our thoughts are not very supportive. Our thoughts are not very, are kind of, they work against us sometimes. That's why it's very hard to kind of, fight with your thoughts. So with this energy here that I'm getting from the past here, that there was some stress, and I feel like it had a lot to do with not maintaining anything, but necessarily maybe work. Maybe this has a lot to do with your commitment with your other half. Okay, like this is somebody that's very committed and willing to do the work that's necessary to get to where they need to be, or to get to where they want to be. Okay, this is someone that is also a family man, but this is someone that is, so that's generous. It's very, that works very hard, very diligently, that they're businessmen. So I feel like maybe there was something in regards to your work that was stressing you out. But since this is your love reading, this is mostly telling me that there was something that was potentially stressing you out about how you possibly were stable, how your finances were working, right? Or potentially just like internally you felt very in control and very practical about your relationship, but externally you have this Knight of Cups energy. Maybe you were wanting to, to express your love to, you knew what you wanted in the past, and if you knew what you wanted as well. But why is the Nine of Swords here? That's what's getting me. There was some stress and anxiety. Maybe there was worry and stress about what you may not be able to get. Because usually with the Nine of Swords, right, it's like, he's woken up from a bad dream, it looks like to me. And he's covering his face. It's like, but the monster's not there, though. The monster is there. You haven't lost everything. You're still in your bed. Everything's cool. And I feel like he's still in that dream with his eyes covering over his face. And it could be a nightmare. But I feel like things are not as bad as it seems. When the Nine of Swords comes up, that's what it indicates. That things are not as bad as it seems. So it may have been something that may have been some stress, some anxiety. Yeah, see, look at the Two of Pentacles right there. There may have been some stress and some anxiety about a certain outcome, but it didn't happen. It never happened yet. It didn't happen yet. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to work on. And you have what you wanted. You know what you wanted here. But the Knight of Cups could be somebody that's coming in. A Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Somebody that's a friend zone that that wants to be more than just friends. And that could just stress you out in itself. Potentially this is somebody that you already know. But let me see. Why is the Nine of Swords in the past for Taurus? Yeah, being stable. Or you guys were bored, or I don't know, because usually this is typically not really a boring card for you guys. If you guys were like a fire sign or anything like that, then I would be like, oof, okay. But you guys may feel isolated in your relationship, though. You may have felt like you guys were, you have a partner that, it's there in theory, but not in practice. That's one of the things that I see with the Knight of Pentacles. Now, for those of you that don't have anybody in your life right now, this could be that you guys are stressing out about remaining single, getting to a place where you guys feel good, but being single, and you have a lot, you have love to offer. You have love to offer. You're very stable. You're getting to a place where you can be more stable, but at the same time, with this Nine of Pentacles, you're like, I don't know. This is Nine of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Like, you're stressing out about being stable. You're stressing out about remaining single. But you have some love here that you want to give. You have some love here that you want to offer somebody, or there is somebody around you that's trying to offer you something. But potentially there's a skilled cage here that's kind of you're not able to see. But there's a lot of work that's been done. There's a lot of effort and time and energy put into something, because you're coming up as the King of Pentacles. This is your card, and you feel in your energy. That's great, but at the same time, I feel like you guys may be stressed out about what your stability would look like in a relationship, or what you need to have or to be stable in a relationship, or what you feel like your partner may need to be stable, being the provider in the relationship potentially. But at the same time, you have a lot of dreams. There's some love here, right? You want to express it, like express some affection. And the Nine of Pentacles is like, well, I'm by myself, so that's hard. But here you are, potentially, or this is someone here offering a cup of love to the King of Cups, by the way. And I feel like you know what you want, in a sense. You know what you're looking for. You know what you're trying to get. That's potentially why you're stressed out. But the Knight of Cups, he knows what he wants. He may be flighty because he knows what he wants in that moment. It's not always consistent, but you're the King of Pentacles here. You know what you want, and you've been working very hard to get it. That's why the Nine of Pentacles is coming up. And with that being said, I feel like you have the Knight of Swords here in your present, because you're fighting for what you believe in. You're going after what it is that you want. You're saying what your needs are, and you're going ahead and being honest. Or there is a need here to go ahead and speak your truth. Or there's some situation that somebody needs to speak their truth to you. They could be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy here. But this is some fighting energy, right? This is some combative energy. This is somebody that's coming in charged and ready to go, ready to fight for what they want, speak their truth, and be open about it. All right, they have a specific truth, and they want to express that. And I feel like this person's coming in, the King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person is really wanting to just say, you know what? Because you look at this, you have all of the signs. It really don't matter. It's this all doesn't have to be the exact signs. These are all energies, but everybody, the whole group is here. You got Pentacles, you got Cups, and you got Air. You got Fire too. So like, this whole situation is about feeling passionate about what it is that you want. Feeling passionate about what it is that you're going for. All right, I feel like you have this burning passion within you, okay? And I feel like this person here, potentially too, if this is not you, right? They're really passionate. They're very exciting and very eccentric. They have this energy of being the active, the exciting person, the person that brings in the passion and the fun and the affection. Okay, they show their love through their actions. The King of Wands, and I feel like externally though, they're very focused on practical stuff. This is your partner here. This is someone that you see as your other half. They could just be focusing so much on finances that they've turned into like a Capricorn. No offense to Cappies that are watching, but they've turned into somebody that's really focused on the practical. They're working hard. And I feel like they're just as passionate about you as they are about you. Does that make sense? They're just as passionate about you as you are about them. That's what I meant to say. Because you've worked so hard to get, you worked so hard and it's stressing you out that, you feel alone, and you really have this cup of love to offer somebody in the past. But now there's this energy that's possibly receiving, that's going back and forth. In exchange, of this cup of love. Now there's somebody that's fighting for their truth about what they feel passionate about, or their passions, period. And then the Queen of Pentacles here in this external energy that's working hard, is very focused on practical stuff. But they're fighting for something, and I feel like this could be you, Taurus. I mean, you feel very passionate. I keep saying that word, passionate, but it's like you're very serious. You're ready to get what you want, no doubt. Like you were in a position from the very beginning to get what you wanted. So I feel like this is now a non-negotiable energy. Like you're gonna go and get whatever you want. You're gonna get it now, even if this looks like you're working even harder. If you're working even further, but you have a total suit here now. You have the King of Pentacles in here. So you are determined to get what you want, and this person is who you want. You have all suits in this present energy. So you know what you want. And I feel like you've been known. You know who you wanted, and you want somebody that's more stable, that can spend time with you, that wants to build a future with you. You want them to be, you are excited, you are ready to to find this person, or you're ready to just communicate with the person that you're currently with because you see them as your person and you want them to be more intimate with you. You want them to be more engaged with you. Perhaps this is a situation where you're working very hard for the relationship, but you knew what you wanted. Maybe there's a situation where there was a lot of work that was going through, you were doing a lot of work, but then at the same time there was a lot of isolated energy, not just from you but from the other person as well. There's both of you guys are working so hard that you guys haven't been attending to the relationship, and now you're ready. You have this energy here that you want to express. Okay, you want to be creative in this relationship, but I feel like in a way you two are mirroring each other. That's why you guys are coming off of opposite ends, right? Because I feel like, like this is a situation where somebody could be trying to offer you love, and you've been working very hard, so you've been stressed out. But then you feel alone, but they feel alone, and they feel like they want to offer you love, and they're ready to give you some love. But then at the same time, you're wanting to communicate your needs, but they're working hard, so they end up feeling all alone. I feel like this is like a very mirroring kind of situation. But I feel like it will work out because there's somebody that's going to lay down the law. He lays the Knight of Swords. He's very, very clear, very serious. And I feel like the serious energy can really bring that passion back. They can really, build the relationship in a strong way, but also have clear boundaries, clear things set. Because the Knight of Cups, he's all about dreams and love and expressing himself, but he doesn't really lay down any sort of boundaries. He doesn't really say anything that he potentially needs. He just goes off of what he feels in the moment, says a couple things, and then potentially forgets about it because he doesn't feel that same way some other time. It doesn't make him dishonest. It just makes him very current with how he feels, but it doesn't make it consistent. And I feel like with the Knight of Swords, he's coming in fast. Yes, he's coming in with a sword. He's coming in to be very clear and very strict. Well, very straightforward. I know I'm pointing at them, but the King of Wands is like, I know what I want, and I'm going to go and get it. And the Queen of Pentacles is like, yeah, I know what I want too. I know what I'm worth, and I'm going to make sure I get what I'm worth. And I want to feel comfortable, right? The whole underlying energy was the Empress. So this is about building and creating something, right? Building and creating something. So, yeah, it's going to require a lot of communication, a lot of talking, but it's passionate talk, clear communication about what their needs are. Because here in the future, you have the Sun. Starts to make more sense. You start to see outside, starts, to be able to see the path to happiness. And it's because you fought through and you went to battle and you knocked them out, pretty much. You knocked out all the bad stuff. The worst is over here. Okay? And it feels weird because, that is like you went through a hell of a lot of stuff to get to this energy, but the worst is over, right? The worst is over. And with this being over, this is time for recovery. And you have this ability to recover now because you have this 10 of Pentacles. You are feeling more committed than you've ever felt. You are in a situation, in a relationship where you feel like there is stability, support, and security enough to help you and to help enough for the both of you guys to heal together. But it's going to take some communication. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some determination. It's potentially going to put some egos aside just to be vulnerable. All right, guys. Let me go ahead and pull your romance angels for this week. See what's going on. Wow, children. Children, your love life is affected by children. And for some of you guys, there could be straight up some children that's affecting your love life right now. However, it does talk about, children can be, projects, things that are going on in your life, right? Third party situations in regards to like things that are needed to be developed with tender love and care. Things are being built. And children is the byproduct or the offsprings of the Empress, right? Because she gives birth, she's pregnant and things like that, right? So she gives birth to everything that she creates is her child. Even if it isn't a physical child, it is literally her baby. Like she nurtures it, she raises it, she makes sure it's taken care of. She loves that thing. And I feel like what you guys are building together is a relationship, right? This child is a relationship. This child is the projects. Your own individual children is your individual projects that could be causing a weird effect in your relationship that could potentially keep you guys isolated. Okay, and that's potentially why there was stress in the past, was because there was a constant feeling of being alone and fighting alone and trying to build abundance, a lot of isolation. And it's like, you are in a relationship, you shouldn't have to feel isolated, but it's because of potentially all of your individual projects, this individual demands. Maybe that's what split you guys apart, but there's still love, there's still a connection here, there's still something that makes you the king and queen of pentacles, makes you both the king and queen of pentacles. But sometimes there's some things that kind of get in the way, right? Some things that we do personally in our own lives, and then developing something together that can require a lot of work. It can require a lot of work. However, it doesn't mean it can't happen, right? This person is just as committed to you as you are committed to them. Because they see you as someone exciting, they see you as someone passionate, you see yourself as someone that's ready to go and fight for whatever they want. Knight of Swords, King of Wands. But this person is committed, okay? They're committed to working with you. But there's some things in the middle that may need to be addressed, especially in regards to boundaries and how to, like, especially when it comes to spending time together with that Knight of Wands. Okay, because I think that's what the fight is for now. Like, the Knight of Swords is coming in here, slicing and dicing for the fight for the Queen of Pentacles. But you guys will get there, and I see this. This is not a bad energy. But I see this. None of this reading isn't even bad. This whole reading isn't even bad. I just feel like, you know, whatever caused you guys some stress in the past, you're making it known now, and you're talking about it, and you're going through it, and you're having a conversation with your partner, and the partner even is talking to you, right? And it's about spending time together and talking through difficult parts, even if you feel like there's nothing that they can do about it.